Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to Mornings with 60andMe. Today is Saturday, it is July 30th, and welcome to a new day, almost the beginning of a new month, so hope you're all doing well. I'd love to, first of all, thank all the women who joined our Facebook Live show yesterday on 60andMe. It was wonderful to meet so many new people, and we had over 600 comments from people just, introducing themselves, talking about things that were important to them, and I hope a lot of you are here today with Mornings with 60andMe. We talked a bit about it and invited you to join us. So the idea is that every morning I just get together with you, have a cup of tea, and talk about things that are happening in the news, and also share some feel-good stories, things that are going to uplift us and make us feel positive about the day. So I hope you're pampering yourself today. It's Saturday, it's a weekend. Not that the days kind of blend together, but I hope that you're doing something special for you today. This is your day. This is your big news day. So my cup of tea this morning is it's actually chai. It's a company called Puka make a bunch of really beautiful teas, and this is a chai tea. So it's dark, spicy, and it's just perfect for a Saturday. So grab your tea, coffee, whatever you prefer, and let's just get started with what's happening in the world. So after a fairly tough week, I've decided I'm going to start with a feel-good story, something that really makes me feel good, and hopefully you too. There's been a lot of news coming out of Syria lately about how, the horrific civil war that's been going on for years. But there's one story that caught my eye. It's about a young woman who lived in Damascus. Her name was Yusra Mardini. And Yusra is a swimmer, and she used to go swimming every day. She loved swimming. It was her passion. And the swimming pool that she practiced in was bombed, and so she couldn't continue swimming any longer. And her life just kind of dissolved. It just fell apart. She was so unhappy. And so, everyone decided that in her family that she had a passion, a mission for swimming. So put her on a boat to try to find freedom in Europe. She got to Lesbos in Greece, but not without a struggle. The boat almost sank. And she and her sister, who is also a swimmer, on the boat together, got out and swam, pulling the boat towards the shore, and rescued everyone on the boat and got to Lesbos. She made her way eventually to Germany, where she was put in a refugee camp, and started swimming where she could, and was noticed. And a gentleman, I forgot his name now, an Egyptian translator who saw what she was doing, caught his eye, and put her forward to swim at the Olympics. And they tried for 2020, thinking that was their only option. But this year, the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, is letting a team of refugees join the ceremony and the event. And so she was chosen after, lots of paperwork to attend the Olympics in Rio. And she's going to swim. Her name is Yusra Mardini. So when you see her swimming, you'll remember this story, hopefully. And she is participating with 9 other refugees who have been chosen to have a team, because they don't have a state, they don't have a flag, but they're going to swim on behalf of all the refugees in the world. And it's just a really feel-good, hopeful story. So the other countries represented are South Sudan, Ethiopia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Those are young people that are going to be participating in this year's Olympics in Rio as refugees. So anyway, I think that's a great story. The other one, I promised yesterday on our Facebook Live that I was going to cover this story, and that is some research that's come out of Britain. Some scientists there have made an earth-shattering invention, or a discovery, I should say, for women who don't quite want to go gray yet. And this is basically what they've done after years of research, is they've discovered this gene that actually is responsible for gray hair. Now, if you want to do your research, it's the IRF4 gene. And, this is the gene they think you can switch on and off to prevent gray hair from growing. And basically, just a little background on gray hair, in case you needed to know, is that actually the gray hair is caused by a depletion of this a chemical called melanin. So the scientists now are trying to figure out ways to activate this gene so that they can control the creation of melanin. So even though gray hair, we all know, is becoming very popular now, lots of younger women are dyeing their hair gray. It's a trend. It's also got a stereotype around it of aging. So a lot of women don't want their hair to go gray, and I'm kind of one of them. We talked about this yesterday, that I'm kind of a blonde gray person, and I'm going gradually towards the gray. But anyway, I just thought that was kind of an interesting feel-good story. We just need girls, we need to stay ahead of the technology, because there are going to be things happening in the next 10, 20 years that will really dramatically change our lives. So all the more reason to stay healthy, take care of your body and your mind, just take care of yourself, and take advantage of some of these cool things. So anyway, they're going to try to prevent gray hair, which I'm going to ask you a question about that later, but for now I think it's kind of good news. So those are some feel-good stories I wanted to share with you. And, I want to also, though, make sure that in this Mornings with 60 and Me, we cover the things that are happening in the world. So I've made a list. This is my, top 10 things that are going on in the world today. No real comments about them. I'll just put them out there. If you want to check them further online, you can do that. But here's some of the things I've heard overnight that are affecting our world today. Number one, the first known case of the Zika virus transmitted in the United States has been identified in Florida. Big news. Second, the Brazil ex-president Lula faces trial for obstruction of justice. This has been going on for some time, and he's now been charged. There's been a shooting in San Diego. One police officer was killed, one injured. Not too many details on this, but it's another sad case of gun violence. In Indonesia, there has been an execution of drug offenders. They're very, very strict on this in Indonesia, and 4 people were executed yesterday in I'm not sure Jakarta, but somewhere in Indonesia. If you're planning to travel in France today, there's a big strike going on. The Air France cabin crew are on strike, so one more day of delays and cancellations. So if you're flying from Charles de Gaulle or heading in there, be aware, call your airline. In France also, there was a memorial yesterday for the priest who was killed in Normandy, and it was really quite touching. There were people from all different groups represented, and his funeral will be in the cathedral at Rouen on Tuesday. So, and another news story is that the Muslim body in this town in Normandy has asked Muslims to attend church on Sunday with Christians side by side to show solidarity. And it's a feel-good story as well. In the UK, there's been a big discussion about this building of a nuclear plant in Hinkley Point, and they've delayed a decision until August, and the dialogue goes on. It's a very big issue, which something you might be interested in too. 2 more sad items just to close on. We don't quite know all the details yet, but yesterday it appears that a maternity hospital in Syria was bombed, and no idea of responsibility. It's so much activity going on there, but no reports of casualties. But it was a very large maternity hospital in the village of Idlib in Syria. So our hearts go out to those poor people, those poor moms and their babies, and whoever else was affected by this bombing. And then finally, the UN now is stepping in to try to get control of these humanitarian exits that the Syrian government is opening up for people in Aleppo. Very big story there. It's got to end sometime. But as we said, with these news stories, they're moving so fast, we really don't know all the details, but this is what we're hearing on the news channels. So that's it for the news for today. Just before I close, though, just reminding you that if you want to watch this news first, you want to sign up, go to 60andme.com/mornings. We'd love to have you here every day, so please join us. Also, in terms of the funny days that we celebrate, today you've got a big choice. Today is Cheesecake Day, Father-in-Law Day, or Paperback Book Day. So you can celebrate any of those 3. I'm going to go with the cheesecake. I love cheesecake. But those are your days to choose today. So have fun celebrating one of those, one of those three. And finally, my question for you today. I'd love to go back to that gray hair question and ask you to answer this question. Is your mantra gray hair is here to stay? Or is it gray hair go away? Tell me what you think about gray hair. Are you gray, go away, or is it here to stay for you? Thanks so much for being here, everyone. Have a fabulous Saturday. Have a great weekend. And I'll speak to you again tomorrow for Mornings with 60 and Me. Thanks, everyone. Bye for now.